So good morning, everybody. I'm Joel Mandelbaum. I'm here to tell you a little bit about disruption. My goal today is to make you think a little differently. Think about what you can do in your business to change things, to disrupt things, because the internet is moving at a rapid pace and continues to move more quickly every day, every hour, and every minute. So, today we're going to talk about a disruptive mindset, excuse me, the uncertainty of Google, and how to win online today. So when Derek asked me to speak at the Think and Disrupt conference series, I thought, what does disrupt really mean? And disrupt your thinking even further. So I went to our friend Merriam-Webster and pulled out one of the definitions that I felt appealed or resonated with me in what I'm doing. So I'll just read it out. Disrupt, to interrupt the normal course of unity or unity of, disrupt an industry with new technology. That makes sense. We all understand what disruption means from that aspect. However, what does disruptive thinking mean? So I searched and searched, and here's a definition I found, and I'm going to read it out. Disruptive thinking, a way of thinking that turns consumer expectations upside down and takes an industry into its next generation. Who here feels that that would be a great definition for disruptive thinking? Thank you. Okay. So disruptive thinking. How do you think more disruptively? Well, most companies, most people, they just do what they're doing every day, continue to do what they've always done. You need to challenge the status quo. You have to, you can't just be a team player. That's great for the company, but it hardly does anything for innovation and creativity. You have to continually ask questions. You have to ask why we do things. Why is our processes this way? Why is our website the way it looks? What's the content like on our site? Why do we invoice the way we invoice? Why do we even answer the phone the way we answer the phone? And some companies don't even answer the phone anymore. You have to get uncomfortable, because when you're comfortable, things never change. Your competition is not comfortable if they're innovating and growing. A good friend of mine once said, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because generally we're in three phases of our life. We either just came out of a challenge, or we're about to go into a challenge, or we're currently in a challenge. Life will not grow without discomfort. So getting uncomfortable is really important. And again, question everything you're doing. Question your processes. Question your online activities. Is the platform you're currently using serving you? So if you're a plumber, why are you using Facebook? There's a bit of a disconnect there. If you're a plumber, you should be on Google Ads, because when I have an emergency, I'm going straight to Google. And I'll show you some stats. It's pretty much where everybody goes. And of course, you have to forget what other people think. Because if you're always concerned about what other people think, then your happiness and your success will lie in the hands of others. We all have our own insecurities. And asking other people their opinion, generally they don't give it much thought because they have their own things to worry about. So continue to be different, continue to innovate, and really at the end of the day, don't let your insecurities control your success or your innovation. All the disruptive thinkers of our time, we can name a few: Larry and Sergey from Google, Gandhi, Stephen Hawking, Bill Gates. They all were probably uncomfortable. Not all of them, even Steve Jobs, not all of them were the nicest people, but they really didn't care what other people think, because they knew that they had to make a difference, and they were disruptive thinkers. So today, I'd also like to talk about the future and uncertainty of Google. What's really certain about Google is that they're going to continually change, they're going to continually innovate, and they're going to do different things. Just yesterday, there was an announcement made that they're going to invest $300 million in companies to build local news websites. Because Google and Facebook, they're being attacked, that local news is being changed, it's not accurate. So they're going to be sponsoring local agencies to help them bring local news more effectively to any city that's 500,000 population less. They also announced they're getting into the gaming industry. So if you're Microsoft or Sony, you've got a big behemoth coming after you. Talk about Google pay-per-click today. We all know what that is. Is there anyone here that doesn't know what Google PPC is? Okay, great. We'll talk about Google Local Services ads. Who here knows what Google Local Services ads are? This is coming. And of course, we all know about Google Organic Search. Now, I use the term Google, but this really applies to all search engines. Yahoo and Bing, believe it or not, are still controlling a good percentage of the market. Chinese search engine Baidu grabs a lot of search as well. Even Naver, which is a Korean search engine, Yandex is a Russian search engine, and we may have heard of a small little search engine called DuckDuckGo. 88% of consumer purchases start with an online search. And this is why you must be online regardless if you sell online. B2B, B2C, it does not matter. Everybody goes to the internet to search for what they're looking for. Questions, answers, companies, products, services, and that's consumers. I get the argument sometimes, what about businesses? You know, businesses don't all search, it's word of mouth, it's our contacts, it's our network. Well, it's true, it's not as much as consumers, but it's not far behind. 78% of B2B buyers start with a Google search. So if you're not online, I'm sad to say you'll probably get crushed. You know, online killed off Blockbuster, killed off a lot of retail. People didn't see it coming, or they're in a sleepy industry that failed to adapt. Another good friend of mine, I have a lot of good friends, very smart man, he uses the analogy of the dinosaur. He says the dinosaurs didn't become extinct because they were big and mighty. They became extinct because they failed to adapt to an ever-changing environment. I'm going to be speaking at a conference in May in front of about 200 interior designers. And in the interior design, are there any interior designers here, by the way? Okay. It's considered a sleepy industry. They don't utilize technology a lot. But with different types of software, computing power increasing, people will start to be able to design their own homes, pick what they like. So you better be up to par with the technologies in your industry, or again, we're going to see a lot more disruption. So what I'd like to do first is show you a couple of interesting things that you may or may not have seen before. How many people can see at the back? Can you see this all right? Can you see? No?
Make it wider.
Okay, so let me just make it a little bigger here.
Control plus.
How about now? Can you see that better? Just these three boxes at the top. Does anyone know what that is? Interesting.
Search results.
So these are called local services ads. This was an experiment done by Google about 2 years ago in the United States. It's interesting because when we normally do a search result, we don't have these at the top. We see ads at the top usually. We see map, and then we see organic, or what are known as natural listings. These have a lot more credibility than these ads, because the consumer believes that if you're here, you must be a good company if Google put you there. There must be something valuable about your brand or about your content. But here, well, you pay Google to be there, so I don't know. The statistics also prove that most people go down to organic. In fact, depending where you read, this first spot gets close to 40% of all the clicks on a page.
Did you say 40%?
40, yeah. The first three spots grab over 60%. The bottom, here, from what I've read, around 2 to 3%. And then the whole second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down a full 10%. So the majority, or 90%, of people will stay on this page. I don't know what the percentage down here is for these ads, but I'm sure it's not as high as these ads here. So now we see this.
I've heard that the best place to hide a body is on page 2 of any search.
That's true. Don't give away my secrets. So this is Google Guaranteed. What is this? This is actually something new in Canada. We just came to Canada within the last 6 months. It's in Vancouver and Toronto area only, and it's only in 3 verticals right now. It's in plumbing, it's in HVAC, and locksmith. In the United States, it's in almost 35 verticals that you punch in. Now, why is this different? Because it's Google Guaranteed, so when I come in and I do a search, I see this green checkbox. Now the funny thing is, if I click on this, it costs the business owner nothing. You see all these numbers, and for those at the back, they all start with 647 and exchange 732. These numbers are owned by Google. In the United States, there's also an email. So what happens here, I click on one of these, and I see a little bit of information about them. I see their reviews, and if I call this number here, then it routes through Google. The business owner picks up, maybe on his cell phone. Yeah, I saw you on Google, I'd like to use your services. Once that call hangs up, then that comes off the company's budget. You set a budget, download an app, you apply to Google to be a Google Local Services partner. Background checks are done on your employees that are going to be in contact with your customers. And all of a sudden now this looks a lot more credible. In fact, it's guaranteed by Google. What does that mean? It means that they will guarantee your work up to $2,000 lifetime. Interesting. Now the question I have, and unfortunately I do not have the answer, what's going to happen to paid ads? I mean, that's Google's billion-dollar golden goose. They make over $100 billion in revenue every year from paid ads. Here, I just pay for every lead. Anywhere between $11 and $125 in the US. I'm not sure what the Canadian costs are. So it does beg to ask a question, what's going to happen to paid ads? If you're a digital agency and you buy Google ads for your customers, I don't know. Maybe you have to start looking at another revenue stream. Will Google replace it? Will Google keep it? Because here, I don't know if this guy has a criminal record or who that is. I know here that I can trust this. Will this be more trusting than organic down here? Interesting.
Sorry, that $2,000, is that a lifetime guarantee?
Yes. I don't know if it's lifetime for the company or once you claim your $2,000, you're done. But it's interesting that Google is now kind of making these companies quasi-contractors for Google. I've also heard that there's some rumblings, I can't back this up, that Google will start to take a percentage of what your sale is. Now if they start to do that, we're not talking hundreds of billions, we're talking significantly higher amount. So it's definitely different and definitely something that we must look at to see how this continues onward, because as a business owner I don't need you as a digital marketing company anymore if I'm just doing ads. Because I can deal directly with Google, I can put an app on my phone, I can shut off the leads when I have enough, I can put more money in my account to increase my weekly budget, and Google will automatically shut off your budget once you hit that. Don't need an ad manager anymore.
Joel?
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So the incident that I had with the plumber,
Yes.
how does Google ensure that that kind of plumber doesn't get into this program?
It's a good question.
Because that can destroy the program, right? I
Absolutely.
had an incident with a plumber where he fundamentally made a mistake and didn't back the work. And so Joel and I kind of crucified him online. Sorry, but
You got a call the next day.
when you can, yeah, I got a knock. Couldn't get him to return my phone call. Got a knock on my door after Joel posted a review. But that's a completely different story. But I just thought that's a new wrinkle. And how is Google going to keep those kind of characters out of this program? Because that will destroy the program.
Well, you probably wouldn't have given them a 5-star rating. You would have probably gone to
Definitely
their,
wouldn't have given them
you
a
would have gone to
5-star
their, yeah, you would have given them a 1-star, which would have brought down the rating. Because one of the things Google also looks at, I don't know all the measures, is what is your rating score? You start getting too many complaints, you're not going to be here anymore. Because Google will need to keep the reputation tip top. This is billions of dollars at stake.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that today on everything, right? Google's religious about ensuring that you have a proper rating, otherwise you're not.
Absolutely.
You mentioned plumbing, HVAC, what was the other one?
Locksmith.
Are they building it out further?
They will, if it's successful in Canada, I mean, in the US, it's all around home services, but they've just recently got into dog grooming.
Go figure.
Yeah.
But I mean, won't they get into the same issue with this? I mean, you've got 3 there right now. What happens when you have 9 or 12 who have paid?
Well, that's the thing. They're not actually paying to be here. They're only paying for their leads.
Right.
But there's a lot
Rotate.
more. There's a lot more that.
They'll rotate.
Yeah.
So if they've got 30 in the group, every time you refresh, you'll get a different set of 3.
And if you notice, most of the ratings are between 4.5 and
Right.
5.
I know, that I get, but I just, at a certain point, everyone's gonna figure this out, and there will then become a market for how much I'm willing to pay Google for these leads.
The leads might end up on a bidding system.
Right.
I don't know how they're determined at this point, but very good point. You know, you just, again, future and uncertainty of Google. You know, they may pull them out. Who knows? That I don't know, but it definitely does make you think about what's coming.
Joel, there's another question back here.
Yes.
Any question?
No, that was pretty much the same question, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll hold some questions to the end. I just out of respect of everybody's time here. If we don't have time to answer my questions, please feel free to come to me at the end of the presentation today, the full presentation, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions that you have. There we go. So how do we win online today? Let's talk about review marketing. Who here has heard the term review marketing before? By a show of hands. Okay, so a few of you. Excellent. Well, I'm going to go through some stats today, and I'd really like to impress upon you how important it is that you utilize review marketing for your business. Products with reviews sell 200% more than products that have no ratings and no reviews. In fact, if you don't have any reviews online, you lose 50% of your potential customers. Nobody wants to be a guinea pig. Nobody wants to be the first to review. If you look at Amazon, the largest, obviously the largest retailer in the world, but also has the largest database of reviews. They hound you to leave reviews. And they know that reviews bring trust. People trust reviews as much as personal recommendations now. And online, you need to make decisions like that. And we need to learn how to trust a company like that. Because if you're not utilizing reviews, your competition is definitely utilizing reviews. 88% of people read reviews to determine the quality of a local business. And then of course they go to your website to see what they think. Because your website is your CV. People will go to your website to determine your credibility. If you built a cheap website, I guarantee you you're losing business. People are not stupid. They're searching online. They know what good websites look like that are functional, that I can read from my mobile phone, that I don't have to pinch and zoom. If I do and your website's not mobile friendly, I really guarantee you not only are you losing business, but you're getting penalized in search. 72% of consumers will take action online after reading a positive review. Now, I'm going to go back to this point in a moment. However, where do you want them taking action after reading a review? You want them taking action while they're on your website? Or do you want them taking action when they're maybe in a third-party site like Yelp, where all your competition is advertising on your Yelp page? And this is an issue I'm going to discuss today as well. 42% of e-commerce sites reported an increase in the average order value after including reviews of their products. Again, this is why Amazon continually forces reviews, and we see more companies doing this every day. 88% of online shoppers incorporate reviews into their purchase decision process. You must be online. How about having, yes?
I'm sorry, you glossed over something right at the beginning of this, which you said nobody wants to be the first to put a review. Like, that's, to me, is paramount. That, to me, is the biggest issue, because I think reviews are important.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, that's why businesses must push reviews to their customers. On every piece of paper that you send out or email to your clients, always have a link to the reviews. I'm going to get into today about how to do that. If you don't have any reviews, again, you're losing business. So, I mean, who here would like to be the first to review a product that's been out there that you can't see any other reviews about? Nobody.
What's in it for me?
Exactly. I don't want to be the first one to give a 1 star if it doesn't work out. So your own review platform. Interesting. How to have your own review platform. If you have your own review platform that's integrated into your website, it does a few things. Number one, it keeps people on your site. Over 98% of businesses do not have their own review platform integrated into their website. Oh, I'll put up a testimonial, maybe that'll work. Not so much. People don't give testimonials credibility, as much credibility anymore, because who's going to really put a negative testimonial up on their website? Because I want to get that trust factor. I want to see good reviews. I want to see not so good reviews, because I want to know how you deal with your customers. If I'm going to spend money with you, then I want to make sure you're going to take care of me if I'm not happy. So if you've ever gone to a site, they got 95 reviews and they're all 5-star. Who here believes that? Yeah, exactly. So if you get a negative review, don't let it keep you up at night. It actually will make you look more human. But make sure you respond to every review that's written about you online, because this is your reputation here. If it's a negative review and it's not true, defend it. You know, people come in, they know there's haters out there, people get on the wrong side of the bed, ex-employees, ex-business partners, ex-spouses trying to damage a business or somebody online. That's just the space that we're in right now. So, how to have your own review platform. I'm going to show you a couple of quick little videos on how you can have YORP, which stands for Your Own Review Platform for Business.
How valuable are online reviews? 90% of customers check online reviews before they buy any products or services. Have you ever tried searching your company name plus reviews on the internet? Did you notice all of the websites about your business? What's with all these sites? They are third-party review sites, and they have perfected the process of making money off of your business. Here's how. Step 1. They create a review page for your business. Step 2. They sell ad space on your page. Step 3. They earn money by redirecting your customers. YORP stops this process by empowering your website and protecting your business from third-party review sites, and giving you the control and benefits of review marketing. YORP lets you keep what's yours, your own review platform for business.
How many people knew before this video that these third-party review sites are only in business to steal your customers? I'm glad a few of you know. Now all of you know. So don't send people to Yelp. Most people do. Most people don't even actually have a choice, because when I Google your name plus the word reviews, Yelp is such a powerful platform with so much review content that it will almost surely show up under your review search. I'm searching your company name plus reviews. This is happening en masse online, and in some cases you don't even see your website on that page when I'm Googling your name plus the word reviews. I feel this has to stop. You need to control what's yours. You need to control your reputation. You can't be hand-shackled to a third-party review site. People say that it's not biased. Well, actually it is. You know, I've heard stories. Anyone here from Yelp, by the way? I've heard stories of Yelp deleting really positive reviews because their algorithm thinks that it's fake. Yelp will call up a business, tell them to pay them $500 a month to be in their space. Or we may just publish negative reviews. They're very aggressive. There's an actual Netflix special that they're funding right now called $1 Billion Bully. It's about Yelp. I'm not saying all third-party review sites are bad, or even Yelp is really bad, because they all serve a purpose to a degree. But they take away the control from businesses. So I'm going to show you quickly how it works.
What can York do for you? Let's look at how it functions to find out. First, it gets built into your website using your domain name, so all of the control and benefits go directly to you. The truth is, you and your brand are more powerful than you realize. The proof is in the process. Regardless of where they come from, all potential customers start off by visiting your website. When they arrive, they will read about your products and services, learn about your company, and check out your contact information. Because your products and services are desirable, there is bound to be consumer interest. But, as we know, 90% of these consumers will want to, that's right, check your reviews. This is where York comes in. Without York linked on your site, the consumer may stray and look elsewhere. But, with a York link on your homepage, the consumer can stay engaged with your product or service. When the consumer arrives on your York page, they will be able to sift through the wide-ranging review features that York offers, such as the inclusion of Google reviews on your feed, the ability to add more comprehensive reviews with images or videos, the ability to reach out to customers by replying to their reviews, and even the option to erase doubt by checking off the tougher reviews as resolved. As you can see, York provides a critical function required for your business to succeed, and the bonus is, it's all within your website, under your control, without any third-party ads luring customers away from your business. But that's not all York can do. Over time, as York grows, Google will pick up on the review activities. When you search the keywords your business plus the word reviews, you'll see a review platform ranking on search engines as well. This will push nagging third-party review sites down in the queue, ideally giving you the most control possible when it comes to your online reputation. There is a saying, word of mouth is key to business success. Well, word of mouth is shared online and is more important than ever. With York, you get review marketing working for you in a simple yet powerful way. Simply ask your happy clients to go directly to your website and leave a review, and enjoy the satisfaction of knowing that you have control of the online reviews that are helping you advance your website, attract new customers, and grow your business.
Who here thinks that's pretty cool? You want to control your reviews. Now here's a few things that we didn't mention in this. One of the things is that Google looks at many things, many indications. It's called quality score. SEO, that term is when you're building your website, you SEO your site to make sure it's up to best practices. But what can be done once your website is properly SEO'd? There's not a lot. Maybe you can build your website larger, add more content, that's always good. But some of the markers Google looks at, they look at user interaction. They look at how long are people staying on your site for, how fast your page loads, length of your content, text-to-picture ratio, whole bunch of things. Close to 300 different things. It's called the quality score. The quality score is what Google determines where you rank in organic and also what you pay in ads. If you have a bad website, it's old, you're going to pay more for ads than a competitor that has a newer website that has a better user experience. You're also, of course, not going to show up in search as well. The other thing is, if I come to your site to look for a review and I don't find it, you force me to leave your site. And how fundamental is that? The cardinal rule on the internet is don't let your clients leave your site. But you force me to leave your site. That's just the same as me walking into a restaurant and asking the business owner, how good is your food? You know what, can you go across the hallway to the food court and ask people there? They're probably not coming back. So it helps you. It helps by keeping people on your site longer. This helps with your quality score. As people click around and look at the reviews on your site, again, they're going to be staying there for longer. Going to be user interaction. Again, these are markers that Google looks at. So I'm going to do a quick review on my wife's website, and sorry, sweetheart, it's going to be a negative one. But I'm also going to show you how you can respond and how you can get rid of that. So someone essentially comes to your site, of course, they'll click on the button that says reviews. Now, we're not actually toying around with your website. We build it on something called a subdomain. Does anyone here know what subdomain is? Okay, subdomain, essentially, you can categorize information, you can host a subdomain anywhere, but because we're still on the main domain, you're still getting the benefit of content and everything that has to do with your site. So it's called reviews.hairextensionangels.com. So if I want to write a review, first I click on reviews and I can see all the reviews. These reviews can also be shared out to your social channels. What you want to do is you want to drive all your socials back into your website. If you have 500 people or 1,000 people on LinkedIn, how would you like them to come to your website? You want to bring more traffic back to your site because, again, that raises your site's quality score. So share them out. So when they click on that link, it drives them right back into your reviews. So what do we do here? We just click write a review. We put in the name. Put in our, I'll give you a 2-star. And she does hair extensions and many other wonderful services. So they use real hair. Anyone that knows hair extensions knows that real hair is better quality than fake hair, plastic hair. And I'm just going to say, what nerve. So here we submit. Now, as soon as we submit, it doesn't actually get posted instantly. You're going to have to go to your email and confirm you are who you are. Of course, this stops people from just leaving arbitrary reviews. We grab that data, and you get to see who the actual person was that left that review. So you get a branded message. Click to verify your email address. Now the review has been posted. I can either click and go back and see the review, or when I refresh, we can see it's right here. Now what do? Well, you just got an email, because we send you an email right away, and you can respond to it with your phone. I'm going to log in to show you what we can do here. We also have a dashboard where you can actually see the amount of people that looked at the actual reviews in your website. And this is very important because if one person has looked at your reviews, they probably didn't leave your site. So we can track this. In your dashboard, I can see how many people have just looked at my reviews on a monthly basis. So we can see how many visits. A visit is a unique IP address, so it's generally a new person that day, and we flush the data every 24 hours in case somebody comes back twice. We only count them once. We can see all the reviews that were left here. We can see all the people that left reviews. People can also sign in with their Gmail, their Facebook. So everybody can leave a review. The other benefit of this platform is we have something called Envy, Get Reviews. What Envy is, we're just loading this into the platform. This is our newest. You'll just put in your customers. Oh, there's Minho's working on that today. Oh, here we go. Envy, you're actually inviting your customers to leave reviews. You put in their email address. It sends out either a text or an email. Nothing exciting, nothing new. However, what we did differently was when we asked the customer, would you like to leave a review? They say yes, and of course they go through the process. But if they say no, we want to know why they don't want to leave a review. So a box opens up and says, share your experience with us. Tell us why you don't want to leave a review. As soon as they leave that comment, you get an email right away. So you can stop your customers or potential angry customers from going out there and writing about you on other third-party sites. Because when I'm pissed off, I want you out of business. I'm not happy. You slighted me or perceived to slight me. So this way, it stops the process before they put out a negative review elsewhere. And you can deal with it instantly.
Is there an incognito option as well? What happens if somebody didn't want to disclose their personal identity, but they still want to give you feedback?
They must put in a valid email address and a name. I mean, anyone can be anonymous I mean, you can't stop someone if they want to write something really bad about you, and if they're not a real customer, you can just delete it right off the platform. We also, as we saw before, we pull in Google reviews. We pull in the last 5 Google reviews from your business listing. It gives more credibility. You can delete that review as well, a Google review, out of your platform, not off Google. But if it's a real customer, as soon as Google refreshes the connection, we call an API, it gets pulled back in. So again, at least it's better that people are making this decision right on your website than somewhere else. So if I want to delete that review, excuse me, I want to respond to that review. Now that I'm logged in, I click reply. Click this little resolve button here is where a little bit of magic happens. So I'll just put a little comment here and click submit. Now we see a little bit of a different look here. We don't see that comment. The negative comment has been suppressed behind a link. And we do this for 2 reasons. When somebody comes in and looks at your reviews, they see resolved. So we steal the severity away from that review, and I see your positive comment. Person coming in sees this resolved. In fact, most people will take a look at your lowest rated reviews first. When it comes to reviews, it's all about trust, so you have to give full disclosure. So we see it's resolved here. We see the positive comment. So we hide it behind the link for that reason, but from a different perspective, we hide it behind the link so Google will never grab this review and index it out on the internet. So you have more control on what people see. I don't know about you, I don't want any negative reviews outside of my website. I want to deal with it within my ecosystem to help my clients. And of course, to keep my reputation intact. So now what I can do, or I can just delete it out. It's gone. I tell my clients, as my point earlier, be careful what you delete. If it is a real customer and they're unhappy, deal with it here, even if it's a 1-star. If you delete my review, and I saw you deleted my review, and I'm your customer, you've now made an enemy out of me. And we all have enough potential enemies out there. We don't want any more. So, this is the review platform in and of itself. Who thinks that's pretty cool? Who would like to try it for free? Who would like to have it for free for themselves and their clients? That's it? Okay. And you will get it for free for your clients. And I'll go over a little later an offer that I'm making for everybody today. So,
Joel, just a time check, 15 minutes?
yep.
Thank you.
Let's talk about domain strategy. Let's switch gears for a moment. What do I mean by domain strategy? When I think about it, 99% of companies out there really have one website and one domain. The problem is the internet has become way too big. If you think about all the ways your potential customers can search for you and all those variations of searches that are out there, even pluralizing a search is going to get a different result. It's completely impossible to show up with one website and a blog. You know, major brands utilize more than one website. When Nike builds a new shoe, they build a new website, they link that back to their main site. Companies put contests out, ad networks build a bunch of websites hoping their websites will rank so they can sell ad space. Most of them fail miserably, but you do need to spread your content in more than one way. Again, you have one website, you have one fishing pole in an ocean of competition. You need to have more than one. You need to cast a net. Now, I'm not saying build a big functional massive website that took twice as long as you thought it would. It cost more than you thought it would. We're talking just something very basic and very informational, educational, with unique content. If you have more fishing poles in the water, you're going to catch more fish. You just have to make sure you use the right bait. This is a strategy we've been employing at IOPW for more than 15 years. I'm going to show you examples of companies that have been on page 1 in Google for more than 15 years. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of companies that literally occupy every single spot between the ads. We don't put them there, Google does. Yahoo does, Bing does. But we build them in a way that the search engines like. Google knows what we're doing here. You must create good quality content. So baiting the net means, what's the call to action when people land on your site? What's the clickbait? Why do I need to come into your site versus your competitors? Because I have 9 tabs open, and I'm looking to close as many as I can to make a decision. Make sure that what people see is going to make them engage with you. These are also known, what we call as digital assets. There's actually companies out there that will lease and finance the build of a website because they understand the value of a website. And if they start to show up and drive traffic to your business from an organic perspective, they become very valuable and increase the value of your brand because you're getting leads on a regular basis, and they're organic leads, not paid leads. So the cost to acquire these leads over time drops significantly. Who here knows what the most valuable domain is? Any guesses?
Sex.com.
Sex.com? That's valuable, yes, but it's not one of the top 10.
Amazon?
Nope.
Google themselves.
Nope. No one's, no, well, I mean, if it was up for auction, it would certainly be worth a lot.
Wikipedia?
Cars.com worth $872.3 million. Someone paid $10 for that domain at one point. It's owned by Gannett Co., which owns USA Today. They spun it off as a separate enterprise. It has a market cap of $2.5 billion, of which on non-tangible assets on their book is their domain, $872.3 million. Carinsurance.com, $49.7 million. This is just for the domain. I have a portfolio of about 200 domains, some pretty cool ones. I just like to collect really cool names. A few of them have gone up significant value. None of them are worth that much, but 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, something you pay 10, 20 bucks a year for, and you can auction them off. The auction industry for domains is in the billions as well. Insurance.com. Who would like to see some actual live examples of this strategy in action? Okay. And I'm using incognito window, and the reason I use incognito is because it gives us the most depersonalized search that we can utilize. In fact, I will, yes. I'm just going to play a quick little video that explains it, and then I'll show you some live examples.
So this is your company and you're trying to market your business. When you use these methods, how many people are actually seeing your message? Of that, how many are actually looking to buy what you're saying? You will always end up with a lower return on investment. Did you know there are people typing thousands of searches a day actively looking to buy products and services you're selling? And the companies that rank for these searches get all of the business. Right now, your competition occupies this real estate and is generating all the revenue. IOPW will rank your company for these searches, allowing your company to occupy this prime real estate, bumping your competition to the lower pages. How is this done? IOPW creates a network of custom websites, each with original content and information. This network of sites are called content properties, and act like tentacles reaching out from your main website to capture your customer base, linking them back to you. So while your competition is spending money for SEO on their one website, it's like they're fishing for customers with a pole, while you're fishing with a net. Since IOPW optimizes an army of unique sites that are designed and optimized to rank your customer searches, you now have a funnel that drives leads, grows your business, and enhances your brand recognition. Your entire content property can be controlled from an easy-to-use dashboard that allows you to simultaneously update your marketing messages, promotions, and call to actions on all of your websites. We can help you deliver fresh new content and give you stats and reporting tools to monitor each site. IOPW understands the importance of delivering consistent results. With hundreds of clients in diverse markets, IOPW has turned businesses into industry leaders. Right now, you have an opportunity to gain an exclusive advantage over your competition. But because online space is limited, IOPW can only work with a limited number of companies in a given industry. To find out if there are content properties available in your industry, contact IOPW today.
So I'm typing in the keyword search car parking systems. Now I also want to preface that people don't always search by keywords anymore. They're searching by full sentences, they're searching with full questions. But for this example, I'd like to show you something really cool. So if we take a look at the top, that big number, for any of you that don't know what that is, oh, I can't do that here, 247 million. What that really means is that Google took your search, scanned the internet in 0.74 of a second, and came back with 274 million results, or what we call competing web pages. I'd say that's pretty interesting from a technology perspective. Their algorithm is artificial intelligence, it continually learns. But what's important is, if you're on the top spot outranking 247 million results, I'd say go out and buy a lottery ticket. Because you're probably going to win easier than getting to this level here. However, my client has been sitting on the first page here. They haven't always been first spot for over 15 years. He's got this spot here, he's got car parking solutions here. Now if we notice the domain is similar to the search, that really doesn't have a lot of value anymore. 7-8 years ago it did, but companies abused that. They bought 5,000 domains, copy and pasted content across them with the hopes that they'll rank, which they did. Google said, no, you're cheating. They came out with an update called an EMD update, exact match domain. They all disappeared, all of our clients increased in ranking. Because when we build these, it's quality content and quality information. I'm going to show you a couple of other examples. And by the way, he doesn't just show up on Google, they also show up on Bing, Yahoo, Baidu. So you're getting traffic from everywhere. The dashboard, you can actually see the amount of unique hits and visits across your whole silo of content properties at any moment. We can geo-target these as well. We have a granite manufacturer up in Vaughan. It's been a client of ours for about 9 years, has thousands of these. They've systematically grown their business and taken over more online space. And we were so successful with them about 5 years ago, they decided they want to go after the Ottawa market for limestone, so we built out a bunch of content properties around Ottawa search, and we can see this has been up here for what, almost 6 years. Limestone tiles Ottawa, this one, knocked down its competitor, here's another one, knocked down Kijiji, and Interstone happens to be our client. So now his website is starting to populate, because these also link to each other and they link back to your main site, providing some very good backlinking juice, if you will. The next example I'll show you is not normal. And we can't, of course, guarantee this. We do our best. We don't know where they're going to land. We don't know how many are going to show up on page one. They cross-rank into other searches that you don't search for, but we can capture all the data. We can capture all the unique traffic that has come into your silo of content properties. LED lighting is a very expensive cost if you're doing paid ads. Your cost per click can run $3 to $45. So here we have a search, 3 million results, and we can see my client here is Ablaze Lighting. This is also a content property for Ablaze Lighting. You can see the content here. It's one page full of good content, links back to the main site, nav bar, same as the main site. He has the top 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has every spot. And even where the dead body lies, he's visiting the funeral here, still showing, has knocked his competitors down to page 2 and is dominating page 2. If you're more than once on a page, by the way, the consumer is 50% more likely to click on your brand. The more they see you, it's like highway signs. It's just repetition over and over and over again. The branding of these content properties will look the same, of course, because the user experience has to be the same. And this does look similar to his main website. His main website isn't showing up because he has an old clunky website. We're going to be building him a new one this year. A point I want to point out is if your website, that's good. If your website isn't up to snuff, don't start a marketing campaign because you don't want to drive people to an ugly website that they're not going to like and is not going to convert. So make sure your money is put into your site, build a beautiful site that's functional and that your clients will like. So let's kind of bring back here and summarize. Oh, by the way, if I do the same thing in Yahoo, he's still showing up pretty much almost every spot. Save it to the end, please. Thank you. So what I'd like to discuss now is, let's quickly go back to winning online today. How do you win online today? You must adopt proven tactics early. I asked you at the beginning, how many people have heard of review marketing? Reviews have been around for a while. How many of you are utilizing it? So leverage the power of reviews. Cast a wide and thorough net. Build long-term digital assets. Now, as I said before, I'd like to give away this review platform. So for everybody today until midnight tonight, oh, by the way, Yorp, for all those functions, it's $50 a month. No contract, $50 a month. And if any of you have agencies and you'd like to spread this out to your clients, we have affiliate programs. The payout is 20% of the monthly for as long as we have the client. We want to scale this large to make sure every business has this platform to help them control their online reviews. So just go to signup.verview, which is another platform we have, not to worry, .com, and put in the code DISRUPT, and you'll get 2 months free. After those 2 months, just cancel, there's no contract, or you start paying $50 a month. Today I've shown you a few things that I've learned over the last few years, some nuggets. There's got a bunch more in my book, so of course feel free to meander over to Amazon and download yourself a copy. And again, today, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.